What's up, guys? Welcome back to Drop the Post. I've had for 2 years now, I've had this little G5 gimbal. It's called the Feiyutech. Feiyutech. That's how you say it, Feiyutech, sorry. It hasn't failed me yet. It's performed really well. Use it for the GoPro. So I have my GoPro Hero 5 Black in it. Man, it's an awesome day out here. I don't know if this is gonna be in focus or not. Check this out though. Look at this. So, man, just a really nice day. About time. It's been terrible weather. So, anyways, okay. I use it for all the in-between things, a lot of those action shots, mainly because the GoPro sound isn't great, so I don't like always using the sound. But yeah, so I had it for a couple years. It's performed great. Actually, when I took it out of the box, the first thing I did was I did this. Jumped on the trampoline with the boys and it performed great. I was actually really surprised. It did take me a little bit to get used to just the functions with the D-pad, so to move it around and get the right angle. The combination between the GoPro reducing the motion and then with the gimbal, combine those two together and it really does create a very stable shot for a reasonable amount of money, you know, when you talk about it. And it's multi-purpose in the sense that the GoPro can go anywhere, and then this, I don't have experience with a lot of gimbals. This is my only one. I wanted to wait a couple years to do the review. I didn't want to do it right away. I find a lot of components, you know, out of the box, they can work great, and or maybe they don't because I don't understand them, and then over a period of time I get a handle on them. I've never dropped it really, but I've done stuff like that and it's never broke. It's back, it's good. It's been banged around, never had any problems with it, really super solid. I love some of the mounts that they have. They have a thread mount on the bottom and a thread mount on the back. And the back that I mean because you have your D-pad and everything there and your buttons. So for the bottom, oftentimes what I'll do is I will screw in this mini tripod and then I'm able to have a nice little setup. I'm also able to grab it and go and then drop it when I gotta drop it. So it's a really nice feature. Sometimes I will install like that and then I can place it down to get shots that are a little bit closer to the ground, and or if I want to have, you know, pointing up, pointing down, that sort of stuff. So having it on there is nice. This little bugger here, the Peak Design, this typically stays on it all the time. And the reason is I have this cuff, and the way that it works, it clips in like this. So it's just sort of like a bracelet, you know, when you have it. I'm able to unclip that. And when I'm shooting with the gimbal, I can clip that in so that when I have the gimbal going and if something were to happen, nothing happens. It just falls just off my wrist, or it falls out of my hand, but it catches on the cuff and then it's good to go. I'll say this, and this is just me using it over the last couple of years. I'm not really sure how it works. That being said, I'm not sure if you need to. I'm a big fan in understanding my products, how they work, and utilize them to the best that I can use them. While I have looked online, I've read to understand how to use this unit, I have struggled to figure that out. It does fit in the case altogether, so I can keep the GoPro completely contained in the case with it, and then so I'm able just to pull it out and it's all together, which is nice. I prefer it like this. Kind of get it into the place that I like. I like to have it like this because I can see the screen really well. So I'll grab it and then I'll hold down the power button, power being right there. Hold that down to get it fired up. And then once it'll sort of click, if you saw that, just currently in sleep, you'll see the blue light beeping. And that means it's to sleep. So when you press it once, you're gonna see the gimbal sort of come to life. Boom. And it'll click in so you know it's powered. And press your power button once to go through the mode and it's in blue. So that means it's locked on, so it's gonna try to hold that lock. I personally, see it's going. I personally don't enjoy that. I like to have it where it just casually sort of goes with me and it's got a sort of a swooping motion. I think that's a great function. It just keeps it nice and natural. You press this spin button. It just spins around to shoot. If you're vlogging or if you're doing something and you want to get a shot of you or maybe a shot. I've done this when we were horseback riding actually in Costa Rica, and I wanted to get a shot from behind, and I just spun the thing around and got the people behind me, which was nice. Really nice feature to have, and then it just spins right back around, so it orientates itself back to original. The one weird thing it does do is as you move it more, it sort of winds up like a band, and if you just take it like this, it will spin itself back to neutral. And I'm not sure the function of that. I know reading online that sometimes to calibrate the gimbal, you are supposed to let it spin back to neutral so that it's not wound up. So I do that occasionally. I've never had problems where I've had to do a lot of calibrations or fix the unit. It's all really good. I've taken it across most, or I guess half of Canada, you know, from the central all the way out to the Maritimes. We went all the way south with it to Florida driving. One of my more memorable and favorable times with the gimbal was actually in Costa Rica. We ended up, it's splash proof, and I've tested it over and over again, and it's worked phenomenally. Never had any problems with it. And so we were in Costa Rica and we went to a natural springs, which is really just like a stream that has, it's hot water, it's insane. Free, we just parked on the side of the road, we got out and I had a chance to utilize the gimbal in a pretty wet area with the GoPro and just wandered through there with the GoPro and the gimbal, and it performed incredible. The shots were amazing. I've never had any, that was last year, so it's been a year since I did that, and didn't have any problems with the unit itself and the way that it functioned. I use it an awful lot. I would say 3 to 4 times a week at least. And then when we're traveling or if we're doing any activities around the house, I use it even more than that. The only thing I'll say about it is there is a bit of a motor hum that you do get from it as you're using it. The GoPro does not have great sound, so when you're shooting with it and that noise hum, it can be pretty bad and cause some undesired sounds. Then through post, you gotta work at getting it all out. So it can be a little bit of work, but conclusion, I think it's really good. I really enjoy the unit. If you're thinking about getting a gimbal, this is a great one. For the price point, it works exceptionally well, lasts long. Like I said, a couple years, I've used it all over the place. I would suggest using this. It's a great unit. Go get yourself one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you at the next TommyKnowledge Tech Review.